Welcome back everyone. We are continuing the module surface areas and volumes for class 10th mathematics. In this video, we'll look at little more details of frustum of cone and summarize everything from this module. This is part C4 of this video series. As we have looked at it from the first video of this module, as an individual, when you are in a lab working for some experiments, or when you are in a kitchen trying to plan for cooking, or when you are constructing a house or making some furniture at home, you need the knowledge of surface areas and volumes to effectively plan your work. And similarly, at an industrial scale, when you are manufacturing something or storing or transporting something, you need to know the volumes and surface areas in order to effectively plan for minimizing wastage, maximizing efficiency, and minimizing the costs. So basic shapes, we have derived the formula for all these basic shapes like cuboid, cone, cylinder, and sphere. For the cylinder, we did look at half cut vertically and horizontally, and same is the case with sphere, half cut. So we have derived formula for volume, flat surface area, curved surface area, and the total surface area. You might want to pause here and take notes if you want. And next, we have seen combination of solids. We learned that any combined solid can be looked as a combination of basic shapes. The moment you are able to visualize that a compound shape is made up of certain basic shapes, it is easier for you to work out what is the total volume or total surface area from the basics. So we also looked at how the total volume is conserved when you combine two basic shapes into a compound solid, or when you split a compound solid into a couple of basic shapes. With respect to surface area, it is not conserved when you make a compound solid from basic shapes. What happens is when you merge two basic shapes, it reduces the total surface area, and when you split a compound solid into two basic shapes, it increases the total surface area. And we have seen the steps for solving problems from combination of solid section. First, you need to visualize the shape as a combination of basic shapes and calculate any missing dimensions if it is not directly given in the problem. And then use your imagination to identify if there are any areas hidden because of combination of basic shapes. And write down the formula for all the basic shapes that are involved in that compound solid, and work out the calculations to get the final solution. Next, we have also looked at conversion of solids from one shape to another, and there are multiple examples like making ice or transporting water from your base level storage tank to your overhead storage tank, or making candles. And there can be a number of examples like say drawing a cylindrical wire out of a given solid metal. So what are the steps for working out problems in this section? You need to basically check for consistency of units first, and if those are not consistent, you need to convert all the dimensions into same units. For example, if the height is given as 1 meter and radius is given as 10 centimeters, you need to convert height to 100 centimeters and radius as 10 centimeters. Next, you need to write down the volume for formula for shape A, and same with the shape B, and then substitute the given dimensions from shape A and substitute available dimensions from shape B, and calculate the volume of A, and also write the volume of B with unknown to be solved. That unknown can be missing dimension of the shape or the number of shapes of B which you need to find out. So equate volume A to volume B and solve for that unknown. So this is how you write down the steps for solving problems from this section called solids from one shape to another. Next is frustum of cone. We have seen how a frustum can be derived from a cone. Basically, you cut a right circular cone parallel to the base of the cone and take only the bottom part of that, and that is called as frustum of cone. And here I am trying to derive the formula for curved surface area in a slightly easier way than what we have done in the previous videos. So we know that this is the frustum of the cone, and these are the dimensions given. H is height of the frustum, R1 is the radius of bigger circle, R2 is the radius of smaller circle, and when I extend the lateral edges, it forms a bigger cone. And I'm denoting all the intersecting points with some alphabets. O is the apex, and Q is the center of smaller circle, P is the center of bigger circle, CD is the diameter of smaller circle, AB is the diameter of bigger circle. Now I'm denoting the slanting height as L, and slanting head of the bigger cone as L1 and smaller cone as L2. And now when you work out the curved surface area of the bigger cone OAB, it becomes OBB prime. Basically B and B prime are the same points. It's basically when you are unwrapping the curved surface area, it becomes like a sector. And from this you need to remove the curved surface area of the smaller cone, that is ODD prime, and that is how you can calculate the curved surface area of the frustum of the cone. So that is DB, B prime, D prime. The sector which is in the solid purple color is the curved surface area of the frustum of cone. So that is basically the sector OBB prime minus the sector ODD prime. We already know that OBB prime is nothing but curved surface area of the bigger cone, that is pi R1 L1, and ODD prime is curved surface area of the smaller cone, that is pi R2 L2. So the curved surface area of the frustum is coming out as pi times R1 L1 minus R2 L2. So we need to convert this L1 and L2 to the known dimensions like L, H, R1 and R2. These are what we know. So let's call this as equation 1. Now let's see that OAP and OCQ, these two are right angle triangles which are also similar. So then the ratio of OC to OA is equal to CQ to AP. So when I substitute corresponding dimensions here, that becomes L2 by L1 is equal to R2 by R1. And further, if I subtract both sides from 1 minus L2 by L1 is equal to 1 minus R2 by R1. And when I rearrange, it becomes L1 minus L2 by L1 is equal to R1 minus R2 by R1. And we also know that L1 minus L2 is equal to L, and when I rewrite that equation again, it becomes LR1 is equal to L1 R1 minus L1 R2. So rearranging this, I get L1 R1 is equal to LR1 plus L1 R2. So let me call this as equation 2. So if you note equation 1, there is a term called R1 L1. So now I substitute equation 2 into equation 1. That becomes my curved surface area of the frustum of cone is equal to pi times LR1 plus L1 R2 minus R2 L2. So I take R2 as common. That becomes pi times LR1 plus L1 minus L2 into R2. And we have already seen that L1 minus L2 is nothing but L, which is the slant height of the frustum of cone. So that becomes pi times LR1 plus LR2. So the curved surface area of the frustum of the cone is nothing but pi L times R1 plus R2. See, this is an easier way of getting the formula from the basics. So you need to know the knowledge of the curved surface area of the cone and the knowledge of similarity of triangles, and you can easily derive the formula for curved surface area like this. So let's quickly look at some review questions here. The first question, if you split the compound solid shown in the image here, what kind of basic shapes do you get? So this is the shape that is given, and the options that you are given is option A, cylinder, cone and sphere. Option B, cone, cylinder and semisphere. Option C, cylinder, sphere and frustum of cone. Option D, frustum of cone, semisphere and cylinder. So if you are confused about this problem, you might want to go back and refer the section called combination of solids. The next question, if a right circular cone is split into 3 parts by cutting parallel to the base of the cylinder such that the resultant parts A, B and C are of equal heights, what is the volume ratio of A, B and C? See, this is how the right circular cone is. Basically, you are being asked to cut that parallel to the base of the cylinder such that height of A, B and C are same. So what is the volume ratio of A, B and C? So the options given are option A 1:3:5, option B 1:4:9, option C 1:7:19, option D 1:8:27. So here the hint is, for similar shaped objects, volumes are proportional to cube of a reference dimension. Okay, that's question number 2. Next is question number 3. A sphere is cut into two equal halves. What is the increase in the total surface area compared to that of the original sphere? See, a sphere is there, it is cut into two halves. So what is the increase in the total surface area compared to that of the original sphere? So your options are A 25%, B 100%, C 50%, D 75%. So if you need to refer anything, then you go back to the section called basic shapes. You might get answers for this question. So before we wrap up this module, let's look at some of the common mistakes that we typically do while solving the problems from this module, surface areas and volumes. The first one being using the wrong formula. For example, you are asked to find out the total surface area. You might be using the formula for curved surface area. So please be careful while using the formula. And second one is error in calculating the missing dimensions. This is applicable to the section combination of solids. So when the problem is given to you, make sure that you carefully observe the figure before calculating the missing dimensions. Third one is reading diameter as radii. Most of our formulae derived are using radii information. So when the problem is given with the information on diameter, make sure you calculate the value of radius before you start substituting those values in the formulae. The next one is forgetting to check the consistency of units. So if the dimensions are not in consistent units, you need to make sure that you are converting them into consistent units before start substituting in the formulae. Next one is using the wrong units while writing the answer. Let's say you have calculated everything correct as per the formula, but you are writing a wrong unit in the answer, like centimeter square for volume is incorrect, centimeter cube for area is incorrect. So you need to pay attention while writing the answers. The last one is overlooking what is asked in the question. For example, if the problem is asking what is the mass of liquid that you can fill a given frustum of cone. So for that you need to first calculate the volume and then convert the volume into mass by using the information of density. So if you stop the problem at just calculating the volume, you are losing the last step. So instead of mass, you are just giving the volume. So make sure that you don't lose the sight of what is being asked in the question before wrapping up your answer. So that's all for this video, and with this video we are closing this module, surface areas and volumes. I hope you found this video and this module interesting. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel Engineers Math Classes. Thank you so much for joining us.